excited that Maya Rudolph is going to have some more work. She could be on for like 12 more years if this goes well. Like at least 3 to 6 months.
I love Maya Rudolph. She doesn't sing much, and I don't know what kind of voice she has, but
she's got a great voice.
Her mom was Minnie Riperton, one of the greatest voices ever.
Have you not heard Maya Rudolph sing?
I've never heard her sing.
Yeah, she sings it. She sings some shit, man.
She throws down. She gets down. Yeah, I've heard her like comedy sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where she does that like super character voice shit, where it's like overdrawn.
Exactly.
But even with that though, you can tell when someone can like overplay that. You're like,
you have to be talented to be able to do that.
You gotta even make yourself look like you're like being that overbearing with your vocals.
Because even that, they're still fucking hitting notes and shit and holding them.
Yeah,
you're right.
But I mean, like that could be 12 years of work for her, plus some extra, depending on how it goes. Here's what I think is missed in this conversation. Between the two of us, I lean further left than you do. That's not a weird thing to say. You know, I voted for Bernie Sanders every chance I've gotten. My family has worked to try and help get him elected in previous campaigns. I'm very openly progressive in my ideal. I'm not a socialist. I like the idea of being able to grow in some of the areas that capitalism allows, but I know there's some great problems with capitalism. With that being said, the possibility that when it's all said and done, 20 of a 24-year period could be black folk either as vice president or president is what the movement has been working for.
This changes nothing about how I feel about Biden being in the bunker.
No.
That nigga should still stay locked away.
In fact, she should be the one out talking now. Like, you're the vice president, put her out there.
She's the younger one. She's the healthier one. She's probably got to cut back on the Newports right now that she's going to be on the road and shit. But
she's the story, obviously, for the next month and a half, 2 months. So, like, they don't need to hear from Biden.
You know this because I've shown it to you. I have a timestamp from November 2019. There was an ad that they were showing on Tumblr. I got it off of Tumblr.
Great source for ads.
Great source for ads. They kept pushing this ad of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and Kamala was still a fucking candidate then. I thought it was weird, so I saved it because I was just like, this is weird.
I agree that it's possible that it could have been the move from the start. It's all speculation.
I think all of this was theater.
Her name recognition versus the field was much better as far as black potential VP candidates. Again,
Val Demings had some national attention, but
the issue with Val Demings is she's a first-term congressperson in the House and not
an actual cop.
They accuse Kamala of being a cop. That's a real cop right there.
Yeah, that's actual. Like, see this picture of her in a fucking uniform and everything, posing all proud and shit like this.
So this is the problem I have with the whole argument against Kamala Harris, though, is because the first thing that everybody yells is that she's a cop, and it's like they're all cops.
Yeah, once you work for the government, that's Cop City, right?
I mean, Lance Bottoms down in Atlanta was the mayor. You think they're not putting anybody in jail in Atlanta just because she was the mayor? You think she was the mayor and was like, nobody goes to jail? That's not what happened down in Atlanta. Do you think that, like...
Stacey Abrams, I mean, she didn't become governor, but she was trying to, and she should be. Probably should have won. Pretty sure that election was stolen from her. When I say all cops are bad, I'm talking about motherfuckers in the squad car. That's the people I have a problem with. Prosecutors do shit that make what the dudes in squad cars do possible. I understand the connection. I'm not being dumb about that, naive about that. However, I know people in that part of it that try to buck or go against the system. They are not usually successful, but the effort has to be made. It's like somebody has to keep trying, because if nobody tries, then we're just fucked.
I side with the idea that all cops are bad, but what I mean is the system that all cops exist in are bad, and therefore all cops are bad because the system is fucked up. And what I see from Kamala Harris, everybody goes, well, if you think the system is fucked up, get in the system and fuck up the system. But it is impossible for a black woman who is the child of someone who was involved with the Black Panthers to ascend to Attorney General of one of the largest states in the country without compromising in some areas. This is a state that's so big that they've talked about separating it off into multiple states. It's the fifth largest
economy in the world.
This is a woman who won the Attorney General office as a black woman. And if I have to list one more fucking woke white dude who thinks he's progressive, who wants to say she fucked her way at the top, this pandemic or not, I want to go looking for somebody. But
he keeps talking about the truancy shit. The policy that they had was if your kid missed 50 days in a semester, you could possibly go to jail. And I have to say to that, if your child misses 50 days of school in one semester, you should fucking go to jail. That's child abuse, man.
Well, I don't think you need to go to jail, but I think we need to talk about whether you should keep your kids or not. Yeah, I'm not in favor of jails or prisons.
Alternatives to me.
You lose your kids.
That's child abuse. Yeah, that's child abuse. I mean, that's child abuse. She never, in her office as San Francisco or as AG, put anybody in jail. Nobody fucking went to jail. The little thing where they're like, she was laughing about putting people in jail. First of all, she couldn't be laughing about putting people in jail because was, she never put anybody in jail. That's the first part. But the second part is she's not laughing about that. She's laughing at her staff being fucking super aggressive about the idea of putting people in jail. But they didn't do it. She's laughing at them being like, yeah, they went a little too far. And she kind of giggled. It was her job to stop them. Clearly she stopped them because no fucking body went to jail. Her job is when they make those rules is to enforce them.
Here's what I've seen as a knock on her is that she used to not be in favor of marijuana legalization. She was the DA or AG when, 1,500 people got put in jail for weed infractions. And that is terrible. And that sucks. And I bet if you talk to her about it now, she'd probably have a different opinion since she's no longer in that position, nor does she feel that way about marijuana legalization. She has evolved her position on that as well. Another big knock on her has been that she didn't do anything for trans people that had hate crimes done against them or something to that effect, or there was an issue with trans people that she didn't stand up for. But she's also done other things for LGBT plus groups in San Francisco, and she didn't uphold anything regarding California's gay marriage ban when that was in existence. There is compromise that is necessary when you're a politician that will not always benefit the people who are farthest on the left. It's just the way it's going to be. But additionally, people claiming that she got her spot because she fucked her way to the top. It's insulting to claim that a black woman fucked her way to the top who's a Howard University graduate. She's a black woman who was sent to the highest legal office in the state of California, what we've agreed is the 5th largest, GDP in the world.
How do you fuck your way to AG?
You gotta get elected for AG. You know that?
You can fuck your way into a role. You can fuck your way into getting like the good shift at 7-Eleven, but you gotta have people vote for you to get that.
Here's the real issue, though, is that
fucking voters?
I would have loved to seen Stacey Abrams be on the ticket. However, outside of the far left, nobody knows about Stacey Abrams. I would love to see Stacey Abrams run for vice president or president when the world is there. But this idea that some people have who are maybe recent to the movement that don't understand that we are in the middle of the movement. All the protesting and rioting and looting and standing up for Black Lives Matter has gotten us to this part. All that work got us to here. The work isn't over. The work keeps going on. So we're not done yet. So we need to stop for a minute and go, we worked really hard to get to this point. It's not exactly where we're going to go, but look, we got to the point where now the guy who's running for president, a 78-year-old white guy, not only recognized that he should choose a black woman, but chose one.
There's plenty of them that probably thought it was this is what I should do.
Maybe not all the policies you like, but Obama didn't have all the policies you like. But look what Obama did for black people as far as feeling more confident about who they could become. There are black people right now who are Trump voting Republicans who are only in the position they are to even think as freely as they are because Obama became president. The confidence they had to think differently was partially because they saw that man excel at a high level. And the same thing is going to happen here. Do you think after 12 years of Kamala Harris being in the Oval Office and around the Oval Office that won't encourage more black women who may be further left to get a better look?
You don't think that that's also going to encourage America to be a better place?
What do you think a movement fucking is, man? This is movement. Movement is we can have a black vice president. It may not be all the shit you want, but what the fuck are we gonna do? What are you gonna listen? I know it sucks. It does suck. I'm with everybody who is upset that it's not the person that they wanted, but the person they wanted was Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren. Everybody
wanted Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Well, not everybody. Everybody on the left wanted it. Here's the thing. I'm down with that. But unfortunately, what was shown either by hook or by crook is that Bernie didn't come out of the primary with the win. And so we have to move in the ways in which we can move. And I think the opportunity for people in the movement who are trying to get progress to have Kamala Harris's ear is a lot better than if we would have Mike Pence's ear. Sorry. What are you going to do? If you're a progressive person on the left, and I know it sucks and I get it, but what are you going to do? You're going to stay home and not vote? What do you think is going to happen when you stay home, this motherfucker who's been in office for 4 years wins? What do you think your uncle at family dinners is going to be like now when this motherfucker has won twice? When the stuff he wants gets pushed through, when more judges happen, when more shit goes down that you don't like, what do you think? Because all we would have done is proven exactly what he said, that he should be the leader.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg ain't got another 4 years on the bench in her, man. I need her to make it all the way to January 20th because January 18th, them motherfuckers will figure out a way to get a Supreme Court justice in 2 days. I promise you they will.
Bill Barr has literally been on television characterizing Democrats and Black Lives Matter and Antifa as insane monsters. And it's because he's the Attorney General of the country. Would you rather have him as the Attorney General for the next 4 years or somebody that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would pick? And guess what? It's still not going to get you all the shit you want. They probably will not defund the police in the next 2 years. But the idea that you thought that that is what we deserved by this level of work is crazy. It took 400 years of work to get from slaves to even having a black president who is still not as dope as black people wanted him to be. He had to shuck and jive a little bit just to even get to that part, just so he could set an example. And now, 4 years later, you think that the work that we've done in the last 4 years has earned us someone on the far, far left to get elected?
Here's the thing that bothers me about the far left, because I feel like they miss it. They don't see the middle moves left every fucking election. After 2010, every election, we've just been going further and further to the left.
2010.
The NRA is getting dissolved.
Negro.
That's a huge...
1976, homie. From 1976, from the election of Jimmy Carter to Southern guy who's loved by black people in Bill Clinton, who also likes black people in Bill Clinton, to actual black guy, to white woman, to now having a black woman as the VP. How is that not moving things towards the left? And if you look at Kamala Harris's record, and if you look at like progressive scorecards of senators, she's like one of the top 4 senators, and the 3 people ahead of her weren't up for the VP spot. So, so of the potential VP candidates, she votes 93% of the time the same way Bernie Sanders does. So what is she not? How is she not progressive enough? How is the current version of Kamala Harris not progressive enough for people who are looking for somebody progressive?
Some of the stuff people are trying to base it on is masking misogyny and racism. Like, I've had multiple people say, oh, Elizabeth Warren would have been better for the base. The base of the DNC is black women. Elizabeth Warren would have been better for the base than a black woman? Really?
How so?
You know I like Liz. I'm a big fucking fan of Liz. Liz was my Kamala was my number 1 back in the day. For anybody watching this new, never been a fan of Biden. I just jumped on board when the nigga started winning.
I just can't. I'm just not taking more Trump.